Welcome to Residential Wiring, lab number 5. Once again, we're going to be building off of the previous lesson and adding to it. This time, we're going to have two lighting circuits, one with two three-ways and a four-way switch, one with a single pole switch. That single pole switch and the four-way switch are going to be in the same box here. And so that's going to create a unique situation where we're going to have to make sure to pull our home run into that box so we can power light B. So we're going to come into our home run with a 14-2. We're going to come from our receptacle up to this box with another 14-2. We're going to feed from the single switch up to light B with a 14-2. We're going to come across to this three-way switch with 14-3, to this three-way switch with 14-3, and up to light A with 14-2. And so what that's going to look like when we get ready to wire it, we're going to have our hot and our neutral coming into our first box, leaving our first box up to our second box, and then we will have 14-3 running between these boxes, and 14-2 running up to our lights. So the way that all of this is going to get wired together, we're going to start here at our first receptacle. We're going to tie into the hot. We're going to tie into the neutral. We're going to come out of that and tie into our neutral. And we're going to tie into our hot. Now when we get up into this first box, we're going to pigtail off of this hot wire to our single switch, and then we're going to come off of that switch up to that light, because all that we need to break is the neutral. And since all we need to break is the neutral, this white wire just gets pigtailed, and then it comes up to our light and is tied in. And now that part of the circuit is done. Our single switch controls our first light. But now, in order to power our second light here, we need to get power to it. And we can't start the power at a four-way switch. It needs to start at a three-way switch. And we want to start that at the farthest from the light so that we can feed up, right? And so we have two power wires, a black and a red, coming over to this switch. But the NEC says that if we're going to use the white wire as a current carrying wire, it needs to be the wire that feeds it. It's going to become the hot, right? So let me get rid of all of our yellow lines here so that we can, for clarity, and then we will feed from this neutral, which is no longer going to be a neutral. It is now going to be the hot wire that feeds our three-way switch. Now that has to be re-identified. So we're going to use black paint, black tape, black marker to re-identify all the way around that is no longer a white wire, that is a current carrying wire. And then we're going to take and tie in our black, which is a traveler, to the traveler screw, our red, which is a traveler, to the other traveler screw. Each of these will come across to the top traveler screws of our four-way switch, and then we'll come out of the bottom of that four-way switch and tie into the 14-3 going to the next switch, right? Our black and our red are our travelers. These are now our current carrying wires, depending on which one the current is on. And so our neutral, right? We also have to tie a neutral to get up to this light. We need a neutral, so we're going to tie in our white wire, our neutral wire, here. And in this box, that neutral wire is just going to get pigtailed to the neutral, and then that's going to come up to the light and get tied in. And then our black wire coming in from our last switch, that's a traveler, and the travelers get tied to the traveler screws. Our red traveler gets tied to the traveler screw, and then off of the common or the hot screw on the switch right here, this gets fed up to our light, and that completes the circuit. Hopefully that was clear. The section in with those two switches can be a little bit confusing when you're feeding the switch with the four-way switch. But the thing to remember is the power has to come in on a three-way switch, and it has to leave on a three-way switch. The four-way switch in the middle, it's only travelers on it. So if the power comes into the box with the four-way switch, we have to move that power to one of the other switches. We have a neutral inside of this box which will service both circuits, and so we're not required to have a neutral in this box to the left, and we can use that white wire as a traveler as long as we re-identify it.